Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to my 19th reflection video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about sleep, staying up late, and being healed by the dark. Being healed by the dark. I know that's backwards. I know that's an oxymoron to some people. I know that don't make no damn sense, because most people say getting healed by the light. I seen the light. Well, I seen the dark, man. I seen the dark. Lived in it. Still do sometimes, right? And I have to hit this topic because it came to me about 2 weeks ago. I just haven't gotten around to making the video, but now's the time. I'm gonna just start with this. Being up at night, staying up late, not being able to sleep sometime came with its benefits. Most people, you know, it's not fun. It wasn't fun for me all the time. I just made the most out of it. But it's not fun. It disrupts your schedule. It messes with your day because your night ain't going right. It throws off your body. You know, considering the schedule that most people follow, it doesn't work when you have to be up during the day for said whatever hours you gotta work, go to school, do whatever you gotta do, and then at night you can't get the proper rest. It says a lot about you. It says a lot about your mind. It says a lot about your body. And, you know, if you want to go there, it says a lot about your spirit. And to me, that's what I realized at the time, at this phase in my life that I'm speaking of, and what I've learned, you know, that's what it says. So, to backtrack, when I was in middle school, about 7th and 8th grade, but mostly in 8th grade for sure, I was always having nightmares. I could never sleep fully through the night. Even if I didn't have nightmares, I just couldn't sleep. I would sleep, always getting up at 2, 1, 3 in the morning to stay up till 6 a.m. and have to get ready for school, or if it was a weekend, you know, just go back to sleep or just end up staying up, whatever. I just could never sleep in that nighttime frame properly, like, you know, you're supposed to do, like you should be able to. And, you know, this is a common occurrence, you know, in people's lives. You know, people got to take medicine for this. Some people drink before they sleep, smoke before they sleep, exercise before they sleep. You got to watch certain shows to help you wind down so you can get comfortable and relax, because, you know, one of the issues for me and most people is your mind is going, constantly going and going and going. So when you're trying to sleep, even while you're off and you're supposed to be winding down and shutting down, your mind is so you can't shut down properly, and you don't. You never achieve real deep sleep to get proper rest, and that takes a toll on you. You know, like in school, for me, I couldn't focus. You know, I wasn't there all the way. Like I've mentioned in previous videos, just I ain't really like school like that. I wasn't that comfortable around the people I was in school with in middle school. I hated it at times, many times. And that was already draining in itself. But because of that, constantly being that drained me even more, on top of the fact that I couldn't sleep. So I was often very, very, very tired. And don't get me wrong. Like I said, I benefited from staying up late. You know, I watched a lot of cartoons, you know, Adult Swim, late night Nicktoons, and Cartoon Network reruns, seeing late movies, scary movies, all these things. You know, this is the time that these things come on. You know, history stuff at night, ghost shows about ghosts and all this stuff. Like, I was into a lot of that. And, hey, that's what I watched that night, you know. It's normal for me, and it's normal for a lot of people. But also, what it says about your personality and who you are and the things you might be into, it added up to when I got through high school and would have conversations with people about things, start to realize I'm not into the things they're into, because I don't watch these daytime shows. I don't watch these afternoon, evening shows. You know, I don't watch the movies that be on. You know, I missed out on a lot of things because I just couldn't operate during the day like everybody else. I just couldn't do it at the time. My body wouldn't let me. My mind wouldn't let me. It just was a different time for me. But I say all that to say, and I think I mentioned this in other videos. I have. You know, when you can't sleep and your dreams are constantly bothering you and stuff, it says a lot about your mentality, your spirituality, your health, you know. And for me, like I said before in other videos, I figured for me, what I realized is that I was going through a lot emotionally, mentally, identity-wise, and it would manifest in my dreams, so I couldn't sleep, you know. I was dying a lot because I feel like I was dying inside spiritually. Like, I was not happy with my life. I was not happy with school. I wasn't happy with my friendships. I wasn't happy with family. I wasn't happy with a lot of things. So all those things are technically cause you death, bring you death on the inside. It makes you feel like nothing, you know, it makes you numb, it makes you hurt. And that's what death would feel like. So you will constantly have dreams of people who've been in this situation or are currently in this situation. You have bad dreams and uncomfortable dreams all the time because that's just what's in your mind, you know, and you have to find a way to clear it up. And once I start to clear that stuff up and try to navigate that and learn and figure myself out, I start to have better dreams. I start to be able to sleep more. I start to be able to, you know, figure everything out, you know, and get proper rest, you know, and have more energy and things like that. There's a lot more to this, but I'm gonna make this a 15-minute video and all that. You know, I'll save this parts of this for other things. But once you navigate all that, you find that you might be able to sleep better. Now, granted, some people gonna have sleeping issues for the rest of their life. You know, luckily I never had to take medicine. I never had to go down that road. I was able to figure it out for myself, you know, but it healed me a lot. And the other part I was mentioning is the nighttime healing, besides watching the shows and staying up late and getting away from people and trying to figure out my sleep schedule and my dreams and all that. I used to always take walks at night. I used to always go out. I used to always sit outside, you know, while everyone else was asleep and the neighborhood is quiet. I used to walk to the park at night. Even when I was in high school, after getting out of school, getting out of wrestling practice, you know, or hanging out with friends, I get home late, 8, 9, 6, 6:30, 7, 10 sometimes, maybe midnight sometimes, and I would still stay out because it was so quiet, it was so calm. All the chaos of having to deal with people and socializing and playing games and thinking about all that was so draining, so draining. So it was such a release for me to stay out late, to be up late. It's just me. It's just quiet. There's nothing going on. There's no noise. There's no chaos. It's just quiet. And people's perception of the nighttime and the darkness, you know, people always, you know, always look at it as a bad thing, and it's always sold to us as a bad thing. But you know, the reality is, and the truth is, you know, there's a lot of healing in the dark as well. Everything's not about the light. You know, it's a balance. It's both sides. You know, depending on what you cope and how you learn and what you cope with and how you learn and what your life is like, you know, you might find that the isolation, the quietness, the silence, you know, that stuff is more entertainment for you. That stuff is more healing for you. It's odd, you know, but it is what it is. I'm gonna point something out. You know, when you watch movies and you play games, TV shows that have to do with magic and spells and all these things, there's light magic and there's dark magic. And dark magic may always seem bad, but sometimes it's not. It's how you use it. It's the way you see it. It's the way you live. It's with it. You know, it's what are your intentions with this dark magic? The reason why it's dark magic is because of the consequences that may come with it if you use it wrong, but it's still a part of magic. You play games like Final Fantasy, you play stuff like Pokemon, you play all this. There's always a light element and there's a dark element. As we know, yin and yang, right? It's just what it is. So my point to close this out with that is that, look, bad times, dark times, rough times, all that stuff, it adds up, you know, and both are just as important, which we already know, but just a reminder from you to me, from you to me, from me to you, right? Just a reminder. Both sides are have benefits or beneficial, you know, doesn't matter, you know, and you gotta take pride in whatever chapters that you have had or are currently, you know, the chapter you currently experiencing, gotta take pride in that too, because you learn a lot. I've learned a lot, and it separates me from a lot of people a lot of the time because of that. And got no shame in that. You know, I've learned from it. I moved on. I embrace it. I use it today as I need to heal, to get my own space, to learn, to recap, to reevaluate, all those things. I do it. So yeah, that's it. If you ain't getting sleep, hey, do something while you're not sleeping to make the most of it. That's all I can say.